But your connection with your mother is different because you tell your mother just about everything.
Me and my mom are really close.
Sasa hiyo ndio shida. That's where I think we're trying to break the chain because I try and talk to my kids as often as I can about what I'm going through. Right?
About what you're going through.
About what I'm going through.
Damn.
I got this, and I told them, I got this job the other day. They want me to go and do radio A, B, C, D. And then my child was like, "But Dad, haven't you done this radio thing for a long time?" I was like,
Yeah.
Damn, I have. Growing up with them in that particular nature is encouraging because I'll have the relationship that I didn't have with my father, where I would sit down and talk to my mom about sex, right? And my dad would be like, yeah, you've grown up now. That's about it.
I've never spoken about sex with any of my parents.
Okay, so you see what Makbul is saying. It's really important, right? Yeah. For your children to see you as human beings.
True. Yeah. True.
To see the humanity in you. Yeah. You know, when we saw our parents, we didn't think our parents could struggle with the same things we are struggling with.
Actually, the only humanity we saw in our parents is when they were broke. So that's when they were vulnerable. Vibe kwa nyumba ikame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the human element of it all. But they didn't quite share much.
They didn't share much. So you don't know how your dad or your mom dealt with grief or with anger or with hurt or with and so for you also, since you've not seen that,
you don't have the tools to deal with it.
You don't even you yourself don't have the tools to deal with it. But if you tell your child like okay, wow, this thing is hard. I was not number one in class. Me I tell my kid, I'm like, okay, I know you're struggling with this subject. Even me, I struggled with it, by the way.
Totally.
Just understand. Yeah. So what we're doing is hapa tunasaidiana, by the way. By the way, let me tell you. Me, I tell him, this exact thing you're struggling with, I struggled with it as well.
So now that thing for Polygraph, the other day when that song came out, it's so true because we learn from these guys. Yeah. They teach us just about everything that we need to learn. My son, my son is a ninja. He wants to be what are they called? Rodeo, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll take you to Kakamega, you'll try that. But because of that bravery and they're willing to just do anything. It inspires us to do different things as well. To go places where we've never been before as well. And have discussions that we never had with our parents. Like fighting in the house when parents fight. We fight all the time as, husbands and wives. But we forget that even us as we were growing up, we saw, we understood, but no one spoke to us.
Nobody said nothing.
I tell my guys, I'm sorry. The other day I was shouting, Mazay, I just come from work. I was tired. But your mom, we got into a bit of a tiff, but it's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Right? I love you. We both love you. It's just sometimes adults have fights. We have misunderstandings and we get emotional, but it doesn't mean that we don't care about each other or something is wrong. It just means that particular moment, that situation, we had a tiff. But it has nothing to do with you or a reflection of, this family and who we are. Yeah. And they understand. They're like, Dad, it's okay. I understand. Even me, sometimes I get upset. Like the other day, I got upset in school. This boy kicked the ball, and we have those discussions.
Wow.
But in African homes, we don't have that.
And it's important for them also to see you resolve conflict.
Exactly.
So that it's not just, they fought and then how did this story end? We don't know it ended.
I think that's why I have, in my relationship many times, some unnecessary just ego vibes.
You refuse to back down.
I'm not backing down.
Yeah.
Chiki is not backing down. Now we're there now, and we're just like, who will back down? Because I never saw my parents resolve conflict. Like, just maybe once they had a bit of an argument, and then there was like church guys who came to talk to them. So I always thought, okay, so that's how you resolve things in marriage. Yeah, but don't call guys to come and pray for
I really didn't like that idea where you bring other people and then you're told you're not supposed to talk about your problems, first of all. And then you call these church guys who will tell everyone in church or at the mosque. You sit down with them, they have absolutely no idea of the context you guys are coming from, all your personalities, but they're like, this is what you should do. I personally think that's absolute bullshit.
Well, I think in African,
pardon my French,
in the African context, the reason why society was involved in marriage like that is because, again, we lived like a herd. So even when we started to like marry like that, the wife belongs to the community in a sense that if anything ever happens to you, the community will take care of her and the
True.
kids.
True.
So it is like the community's like mandate to make sure that it works out between you guys, because like you're joining families. You know, it's always easy when you're just dating, and then on your wedding day or when the things begin, when the games begin, and you start seeing serious shit happening around you, man. You're seeing cows are passing, you're seeing uncles have come. These are people who are adults and have things to do. And if you're an adult, you know, this guy is sacrificing to be here. So it really like an element of
But it's
family
not about
coming
them.
to
It's
talk
about
to
the
you.
two of you, I think. It's not about them.
You know, you kind of owe it to them a little, just a little. Because why did you drag us here? Are you going to drag me here for 4 marriages? Because I'm not going to come for the
Send me an email for the other 3.
yeah. So like you kind of like, I feel like when I'm being super mad and reasonable with my wife, and I want to remember why I'm in this thing.
There has to be that.
Hey,
common
Mazé,
ground.
remember my mother-in-law? She's an amazing woman, man. That she's chill. My father-in-law is such a respectable dude. You know, so like that helps in keeping the bond tighter.
It sort of also just, you know, keeps you in check, sort of. You're
True.
like, okay.
It's bigger than
it's
just
just
me.
it's not just
It's not about me.
Yeah. That ego check.
Yeah, it's not about me.
Oh, yeah, but I think, you know, relationship with children, you have to be intentional about creating that relationship. You know, with your child, you must be intentional, and it's about creating that time. So looking at what your daily routine looks like and saying, I am going to purposely create time to spend with, you know, with my child, because it is in those moments that they become teachable. You know. You know, you won't call. So I'll give an example.
Wow, that's very powerful. It's
Yeah.
in those moments they become teachable.
They become teachable. It's true. You know, your child will not listen to you when you tell them, when you're shouting at them, "Come here,
At
be what you
all.
do." No, it's when you're driving to go and fuel the car.
And you say things that are so profound that
Exactly,
stick with
yeah.
them for all their lives. you know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Those are the teachable moments. You know. So my son and I the other day were he's just turned 11. We were just watering the flowers in the garden, and so I asked him. So but they had prepared for this thing for
A while,
like 2 weeks. But I had to make it look like it was just off the cuff. So I asked him, what do you think the difference is between a boy and a girl's body? And we're just there, and he says, this, that, boys have muscles, girls. Then I was like, you know what? Let's go check. Yes. We went, we sat.
That, by the way.
I had prepared. Look at Bien's face. I had prepared. I had books and things. But I had to make it look like it's just a natural, very organic conversation. So he went and I pulled up now, like, you know, a biology chart of, okay, so this is how a man looks, this is how a woman looks. Okay, fine. So where do babies come from? And I'm not too sure. They come out of mom's stomach. So how does the baby get into mom's stomach? Aha, let's now talk about how sex happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like this, like this, like this. Okay, we talked and talked even to the point where we're talking about menstruation.
Damn.
Wow.
Yes, and we talked about it. And we said, you know, God made women's bodies in a special way for them to be able to carry a baby, and this is what happens at a certain time in the month.
I think I'll call you talk to my kid.
Yes,
Thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'll take that book.
and when the sex doesn't happen, and you know there is no fertilization, there is no baby that happens, so there's some, you know, this is a biological process that will happen. There'll be some blood that will come out.
And they
you
get
know,
the gist of it.
Yeah, and they understand it. They're like, oh, okay. So then I tell him, you know, if you see something like this happen to a girl in your school, it's not something to laugh about. You know, you must help her, you must support her, give her your sweater to tie around her waist. You know, something, you know. Yeah. And then we went and, you know, his mom showed him, this is a sanitary pad, this is how it's put, this, yes, we had the conversation.
You see,
And
that's parenting. That's now monogamy at its finest.
So we had to have the because, you know, I don't want him to come with information from out there.
Yeah, I learned everything about sex on home science. Imagine.
And that guy in the Williams and
And the one dude who has a porn mag in the class.
There's that one guy. There's only that one guy.
Nikimtaja hapa lakini ni mzazi wa mtu sahihi.
Yeah, but it's true.
But it's unfortunate. We learn from the streets.
Yeah,
we all learn from our peers.
Damn, yeah,
What
we need
exactly?
to-
And we've said that definition for a very long time.
That ends with me.
True.
Okay, so we're going to move to more juicier topics. Hey, by the way, thank you guys for staying here and giving us all these gems, man. What's your opinion on unconventional marriages such as open marriages and swinging couples?